A Polish man married a Canadian girl after he had been in Canada a year or so. And although his English was far from perfect, the couple got on very well. One day, though, he rushed into a lawyer's office and asked if he could arrange a divorce for him. Very quick, the lawyer explained that the speed of getting a divorce would depend on the circumstances and asked these questions. Lawyer: have you any grounds? Pole: an acre and half and a nice 3-bedroom house. Lawyer: no, I mean, what is the foundation of the case? Pole: it is made of concrete, bricks and mortar. Lawyer: does either of you have a real grudge? Pole: no, we have a carport and don't need a grudge. Lawyer: I mean, what are your relations like? Pole: all my relations live in Poland. Lawyer: is there any infidelity in your marriage? Pole: yes, we have high-fidelity stereo set and DVD player with 6.1 sound. Lawyer: no. I mean, does your wife beat you up? Pole: no, I'm always up before her. Lawyer: why do you want this divorce? Pole: she going to kill me. Lawyer: what makes you think that? Pole: I got proof. Lawyer: what kind of proof? Pole: she going to poison me. She buy bottle at drugstore and I read label. It say Polish remover. This morning I woke up and I went downstairs and my girlfriend was cooking breakfast and I saw she was wearing nothing but a t-shirt and it was super sexy. I cleared my throat. She turned and looked at me and she said, quick, get on the kitchen table. We need to have sex. And I was ecstatic. We got on the kitchen table and we had the hottest sex ever. And afterwards, we finished. She didn't say anything. She just went back to cooking. And I thought that was a little bit weird, right? And we never have morning sex, especially not in the kitchen. So I was hesitant, but I asked her, so what was that all about? She looked over her shoulder at me and said, oh, I had 5 minutes left on the casserole, but the timer broke. The man was inside the elevator when he saw a woman with massive tits and a short skirt running towards the elevator, so he waited and held the door open for her. She looked at him with a big smile and said, thank you. You are a true gentleman. He pressed the button and the elevator moved for a few seconds, before suddenly stopping. The woman got scared and asked, do you know how long we will be stuck here? The man said, I don't know. It might even take a couple of hours. It became hot inside, and the woman began to unbutton her top a little more. The man looked at the woman, and when she noticed his erection, they both smiled at each other, and he lifted her skirt. After a couple of minutes, they finished, and the woman started to wonder and asked, I've never seen you here before. What department do you work in? The man said, I don't work here. I'm here to fix the elevator. The girl was about to go on her first date and was very happy. She prepares all day. She went shopping all morning just to try on the best outfit for herself, and then came home and started putting on her makeup. Suddenly, her grandmother appears and asks the girl, why are you so happy today? Anything special planned for today? The girl looks at her and says, yes, I'm on my first date with this really handsome man. Grandma looks at her and says, oh, then you better come and sit next to me, and let me tell you about these little boys. She begins, he'll try to kiss you, which you'll obviously like, but don't let him do it. He will try to feel your breasts. You will like it too, but don't let him do it. She then continues, He'll try to put his hand between your legs. You'll love it, but don't let him do it. But most importantly, he will try to overcome you and get his way. You will like it, but don't let him do it. It will disgrace the family. After receiving this advice, the young lady went on a date and couldn't wait to tell her grandmother about it. So, the next day, she told Grandma that her date went exactly as she said. But she said, "Grandma, I didn't let him disgrace the family. When he tried, I flipped over, climbed on top of him, and embarrassed his family." The veteran bus driver was enjoying his last month of work before retiring. He had just finished his daily route and went to a local restaurant to get something to eat. He ordered dinner and a cup of coffee to drink while waiting for the food. While he was drinking coffee, a young and beautiful woman sat next to him. She looked at the bus driver and asked, "Are you a real bus driver?" To which he said, "Well, I've been driving a bus for 40 years, taking people from one place to another. I traveled to different countries and was on the road most of the time." He then continued, "What about you? What do you do for a living?" She said, "I'm a YouTuber, but I'm also a lesbian. I think about naked women all day long. As soon as I get up in the morning, I think about naked women. When I shower, I think about naked women. When I watch TV, I think about naked women. Everything seems to make me think of naked women." They sat in silence for some time, drinking coffee. After a while, another girl came inside and asked the man, "Excuse me, sir, are you a bus driver?" He replied, "I always thought so, but I just found out I'm a lesbian." An elderly man was spending the day in the park. He sat on a bench and just enjoyed the sunny day. Suddenly, he notices a beautiful young woman walking towards him. It was a very windy day, and of course the sudden wind lifted her dress and allowed the man to see her puberty. She was really shocked and thought to herself, this was not a good day to go commando. The woman was really struggling to keep her dress down as the wind kept lifting it, allowing the older man to see perfectly. The man, like any man, enjoyed the performance and said loudly, very airy." The woman heard this, came closer to the man, and angrily asked, "What did you expect, Feathers?" There were 3 guys in a hot air balloon. One said, "We have too many of these," and dropped a piece of wood. The second guy said, "We have too many of these," and dropped a brick. The last guy said, "We have too many of these," and dropped a bomb. On the ground was a police officer who found a guy crying. "Why are you crying?" "A plank of wood hit me on the head," he replies. On the officer went. He then saw another guy crying. "Why are you crying?" "A brick hit me on the head," he replied. On he goes, then sees a guy laughing. "Why are you laughing?" he asked. "I farted, and the building behind me blew up."
My friends, if you want to watch other funny jokes, subscribe to the channel.